Cottle, Group CEO of Valereum. Gary, big news today and looking forward to discussing. First, how are you doing?
I'm good, Dan. Yep, it's good. Monday's always a good day. Good to speak to you as ever. And as you say, quite a good and big start to the week for us. So we're all very happy to finally get that announced.
Yeah. So today you announced that COINGT will complete its initial public issuance on VLRM Markets, targeting up to $325 million. Before we get into the collaboration itself, can you just tell us a bit more about COINGT and what it's doing? It sounds like a pretty massive infrastructure project there.
So probably the best way that people will understand is it's adjacent to the Panama Canal. So it's a very large part of a first part, the litmus test of a multi-billion sovereign grade infrastructure deal. This particular one is a transportation link that runs adjacent to the Panama Canal. So it's a huge deal for us. It's an inflection point for the company. It puts us kind of in the big leagues, as it were. And as people say, right, we've moved away from a nano speculative company into multi-billion-dollar deals.
Yeah, definitely. So how does the initial public issuance on VLRM Markets work? Can anyone take part?
There'll be some qualification. I think the first phase of it'll be multi-phased. So this deal is $325 million. It's a flagship deal, for the government. So for the Guatemalan government too, but there'll be a bunch of deals behind this. We'll be making further announcements during the course of probably the next few weeks, just in terms of further ecosystem plays with, I think a lot of the people in the tokenization space are definitely collaborating together. So
right.
Whether it's the republics of this world, obviously the Zig chain thing is going well, and that's progressing. We're due to announce another one. So I think for the really, really big deals, you need ecosystem collaboration to make sure you can originate. With one of our Bluebird, one of our investee companies is going to hopefully launch a multi-billion-dollar deal. You've got to be able to join up with other ecosystem partners. So whether it's the RWA.io or whether it's the Chintais of this world or the Zig chains or a few others, right? So all of those, we are now very much we're in the really, really big deals, and they're sovereign grade. So it's good for the company. I think it's certainly probably another one of the validation points for the RWA space as well. So it's good all round, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's that first tranche of 38.5 million, and then is the balance covered by subsequent tranches issued from that point onwards then?
Yeah, these are phased projects. So I think number one is we've got a great relationship in El Salvador. I think across that space that they very much are starting to collaborate in let's call them the Americas, more in the South Americas and the Central Americas. We're in the sandbox, or one of the sandboxes, certainly in the US. So I think we'll see a lot more. I think a lot of the progressive nature led from El Salvador. They're doing an awful lot of working with and advocacy around the tokenization space. Probably helps that you have Tether been such a phenomenal success, and they're an El Salvadorian company. So I think it does help, and one of the reasons why we basically based our VLRM Markets business in El Salvador, because they would be leading. We always knew they would be leading edge. So this is the first of many. It's a great deal for us. Just in terms of demonstrating to the big institutional, the BlackRocks of this world and the Fidelities that we can be out there with multi-billion-dollar deals. So it's a good deal for Valereum and probably also for the tokenization space as well.
Yeah, I mean,
of what can be done.
Yeah, there must be a lot of demand out there for COINGT to choose to raise money in this way rather than more traditional approaches.
Yeah, they didn't need to choose us. They chose us, and that's good for us. I think we've been working on this deal for quite a few months, helping lay out the art of the possible and the different ways that this deal could be financed. I say that the bit that we're most enthused about is, and we've been saying this for, I guess, ever since probably I took the role and moved from an advisor of the company to help run it for the next year, is. We were at the point where we launched VLRM Markets a few months ago, and we did a very soft launch to make sure that landed nicely. That everything was about revenues. We've got a very strong pipeline. DigiShares has got a very strong pipeline. Bluebird. I think most of the RWA tokenization companies that we speak to have got good, strong pipelines. Ours is more varied. DigiShares is more real estate. Bluebird's, but so different people have different things. But I think what we're seeing is, the market always said it was slow to the RWA tokenization piece. I think we're starting to get there now and see some acceleration. Everybody said there was going to be a couple of $1 trillion in the next couple of years. You could start to see the early fruits of that now. So we've probably got to make some more announcements, just market updates in the next couple of weeks. So we're very much looking forward to the run into Christmas, and also just announcing some relatively transformational or inflection point deals for the company.
Yeah, and sticking to the point of pipelines, do you think successfully delivering on this project will kind of set a precedent and open the door to other opportunities of a similar scale in maybe similar areas?
100%. Yep. Yeah. So it's I think we've always said you've got to be able to structure these deals and issue these deals and sell these deals, and these will pave the way for certainly what can be done in the infrastructure space in the Americas without a shadow of a doubt. I think you're going to see some other quite interesting deals, different. So one's an ESG carbon credits deal that's actually being led out of Australia by Bluebird. And there's a few other deals that we will be announcing, but I probably shouldn't talk about them now until we actually know we've got the mandates done for those.
Okay, great. Perhaps we can talk about that again soon. So what does the contract, the COINGT one, deliver to Valereum's balance sheet? I mean, you mentioned in the RNS that the project is expected to deliver strong financial performance and further potential upside. So how's it structured so that Valereum can share in the benefits of this?
Well, obviously, it will deliver revenues first and foremost, and there's very, very simply, there's some performance upside. So the better we do, and we like these type of contracts, the better we do for them, the more we get paid in fees, right? So it's a very traditional concept in if you look at TradFi and investment banking, a few of us came from that space. Tying the performance of effectively what is an issue to the outcome for the issuer, I think is a good thing for us to do. We will if that deal goes full size, that's a multi-million-dollar fee. Right. The fees on these are pretty standard. It also opens the way for many other similar deals, and we very much, if we can deliver at the top end of expectations for the client, then that's a win-win for everybody. So that's what we're aiming for.
Great. So it's all about delivery then from this point onward.
It's all about delivering, deals and revenues. And in a space that clearly is starting to accelerate now. Yep. So we're kind of it's a great deal for us to announce.
Absolutely, yeah. So finally, what are the next steps with this COINGT project and the financing in particular? What can
so I think this is day one. So this is we've done all the hard yards in structuring. So we're very much now in the people often say if you got the sell side, everybody says the buy side is the hardest thing to find, and if you've got the buy side, they'll say the opposite. Then that's one of the reasons why we're starting to work with a lot of the ecosystem players to effectively join forces. So you have buy side and sell side and structuring and arranging working together. And there are some phenomenal companies out there that if you look at the space, as I said, whether it's the Republics who are brilliant at putting deals on a platform, or whether it's the Chintais who do a cradle to grave, Bluebird is very customized. So there are lots of people who've got different things to bring to bear. And definitely we're seeing more. We'll announce another 2 or 3 strategic partnerships for people with different networks, with different chains, with different parts of the process of the life cycle as we're heading towards Christmas. So everybody has to and wants to collaborate, I think, for this part of the journey. So they always describe them as frenemies, right? So you're friends when you collaborate, and then you're enemies when you're bidding. But for this part of the next 2 or 3 months, for these deals, particularly deals like COINGT, right? They're big deals. So getting them up and running and getting them structured, arranged, and then sold, that's what our focus is going to be on now we've announced it.
Great. Cool. Well, it sounds like a major milestone for the company. Hopefully we can catch up again. Some of the
definitely, Dan, we will do. But I'm sure we'll be speaking again in the very near future. And hopefully it's yet another step in what we said is the transformation of the company to a proper RWA tokenization and crypto company.
Great. Well, thank you very much again for your time today, Gary.
Yeah, thanks as well for having me on.
Cheers.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.